Hi everyone, I'm Miss Katie from Rockland Public Library, and today we're going to be reading The Shortest Day, Celebrating the Winter Solstice. This story is by Wendy Pfeffer and illustrated by Reisch. And I thought, since just in a couple of days we will have our shortest day of the year, we'd learn a little bit about the history of the winter solstice. So here is the story. In late autumn, in northern parts of the world, squirrels hide nuts, foxes grow thick fur, and flocks of birds fly to warmer places. The sun rises late each morning and sets early each evening. Each day it appears lower in the southern sky. As the sun sets lower and lower, the north gets less and less daylight. The air grows colder. Chickadees fluff their feathers to keep warm, woodchucks hibernate in their burrows, and white-tailed deer nuzzle through the snow to find the last blades of grass. On short winter days, children bundle in warm clothes and walk through a frosty white world, dragging long shadows behind them. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed your shadows being very long this time of year? On long winter nights, families eat dinner while it's dark outside. Children wonder when the days will be long again so they can play outside after dinner, like they did in the summer. In the north, on or around December 21st, the sun reaches its lowest point on the horizon, making the day the shortest day of the year. Like all days, December 21st still has 24 hours, but it's called the shortest day because it has the fewest hours of daylight. So the time from when the sun rises in the morning to when it sets at the night, there is a time of year where there's the least amount of time where the sun is in the sky. And that for us is going to be December 21st this year. The shortest day is called the winter solstice. It is the beginning of winter. And in some places, winter means cold, nose-nipping weather. The earth tilts as it moves around the sun. When the northern part of the earth tilts away from the sun, the north gets less heat and light than the southern part. Long ago, people didn't understand that the earth tilts and moves around the sun. They didn't understand why each day had less sunshine than the day before. Some believed that evil spirits made the sun go away. People feared the sun would shine on them, that it wouldn't shine on them anymore, making their world cold and dreary and dark. They needed the sun's warmth and sun. So did their plants, which needed the food. They held ceremonies that lasted for weeks to persuade the gods to bring the sun back. Over the years, people noticed that after short days, the days got gradually longer. Joyous people bathed in the sun's warmth and light, and they celebrated the harvest. About 5,000 years ago, people who studied the sky noticed that day after day, the sun set in different places on the western horizon. I think that's a good thing to know. When you're looking at where the sun's setting, it doesn't always set in quite the same spot. It moves during the year. They discovered that when the sun sets furthest to the south, that was the shortest day. These early astronomers planned to mark the shortest day. Then each year, people would know when the days would start getting longer. On the day when the sun reached its southernmost point in the horizon, the astronomers carried out their plan. The workers stacked stones to frame a setting sun. They made a special opening like a keyhole, a tiny opening. When the setting sun's rays beamed through that opening, right through this hole, people knew the shortest day was over. Days gradually grew longer for the next 6 months, and when the sun appeared The farthest to the north, its ray shone through another keyhole. So look, they have slits that they have cut or they have made into their building so that during certain points of the year, the sun will shine through it to let them know what time of year it is. People knew it was a longer day, the longest day of the year, and the first day of summer. In China, over 3,000 years ago, astronomers measured shadows to determine the shortest day. The longest shadows appeared on the shortest day because the sun was at its lowest point in the sky. Now that's a kind of a cool thing to look at, that over the year our shadow changes how long it is on the ground. You can kind of test this out at your house with a flashlight. If you have a flashlight right over your head, really high up, like the sun is high up in the air, all you have underneath you is a tiny shadow. But if someone puts a flashlight further and further back and further down, the shadow gets longer and longer. They knew that the sun disappearing higher in the sky and the shadows would get shorter as the days got longer. Over 2,000 years ago, Romans celebrated the shortest day with festivals and merriment. They gave evergreen branches to friends as a sign of good luck. Evergreen wreaths decorated their doors. Since these plants stayed green when others turned brown, they reminded the Romans of the coming spring. Does anyone have anything green up in their house? Maybe you have some evergreen as well. Mistletoe and holly hung in the homes because plants that survived the harsh winter were a symbol of life. Many people believed these plants would bring strength to the families. About 1,000 years ago, Europeans celebrated the winter solstice. Druid priests of England and Ireland decorated oak trees with golden apples and candles to represent harvest and light. Do you decorate at home with some candles? I think many of us have candles in our houses. In Sweden, a festival of lights celebrated the longest day. On St. Lucia's Day, girls wore crowns of evergreen and candles to rekindle the sun's fire as they delivered warm buns to family and friends. Boys went door to door, singing to neighbors for a few coins. You might even go singing door to door. Around the same time in history, the Incas of Peru marked the shortest day with a festival to honor the sun. At dawn, when the sun first appeared, shouts of happiness ran out. They rang out. Then the Incas used a shiny surface to reflect the sun's rays onto fluffy, dry cotton to make it burst into flame. They carried that flame into the temple and kept it burning on an altar all year because it came from one of their gods, the sun. Today, people celebrate at the beginning of winter by decorating their houses, lighting the darkness, gathering together and exchanging gifts. They no longer worry that the sun will disappear forever. People know the days will get colder when their part of the earth tilts away from the sun. They know the days will get shorter when the sun appears lower in the sky. People celebrate the shortest day because longer days will follow. Flocks of birds will return, seedling oak trees will sprout, and children can play outside after dinner. For more than 5,000 years, people have welcomed the winter solstice because it means a new beginning. The end. And I highly suggest you check out this book at the library or purchase it, just because there are so many great facts in here. Lots of facts about the solstice and the sun and its effect on the earth. And there are also lots of activities inside to celebrate this time of year. One of them is measuring your shadow during different parts of the year. And another one I thought was very cool was this idea here, which is every month going outside and drawing where the shadow of your house is tilting. You can see here, over different parts of the year, the shadow is tilting at different directions, even though this person is going out during the same time of day every month. I think there's lots of cool experiments we can run to celebrate the winter solstice and the shortest day of the year. I hope you all have a wonderful winter solstice, and I can't wait to read to you all later. Bye-bye.